Your heartbeat increased with the low droning of the dilapidated building and the buzzing of your desk fan. The air in your office was stale and musky. With a face of pure concentration, you stared at your security tablet. The animatronics were all on stage, save for one. An overweight chicken. It eerily grinned into the camera. It was your second day on the job. By now you were fully aware of the danger the machines posed. Why were you still here? You didn't know. It was like a force unknown to you kept you here. Your hands were sweaty, and the tablet didn't react to your touches. Panicking, you wiped your fingers on your purple uniform. But the few seconds of distraction were already enough. The chicken animatronic made its way further towards your office. You gulped. Its head was tilted to the side, beak hung open. Seeing it gave you the urge to lean out of your office and look at it, but that surely would lead to your demise. Your heart jumped when you heard footsteps coming from somewhere from the back of the restaurant. Taking a risk, you switched through the cameras. The bunny had just begun walking. Your heart froze. You forgot the fox. Just then, you heard heavy footsteps quickly approach you. Lunging forward, you quickly closed your office door. Heavy claws beginning to bang against it. You felt a tear run down your face. Fear was the only thing you felt at this point. Shivering, you crawled back onto your chair, attempting to regain your composure. A sigh left your lips. For a moment you were quiet. In fact, the whole restaurant was. A terrible feeling settled inside your gut. A feeling of dread and despair. Slowly you reached your hand out towards the light. Your heartbeat increased for every inch you came closer to it. Fingertips touching the cold plastic of the light switch. And then... Eek! You jumped as Chica shouted into your ear. Seemed like she had been even more scared than you.
Close the door,
shouted Freddy. Yes, I'm doing it, just... Quickly you pressed the button on the arcade machine, and the door shut close. You sighed, leaning back. You were on night shift today, and like most night guards at the Mega Pizzaplex, you had free access to the arcade machines, as long as you played on them during your break time. But ever since Fazbear Entertainment ported the first Five Nights at Freddy's game into the arcade, the animatronics have been pestering you to play it, as they were not programmed to do so. Yet were highly interested in the game regardless. As a piece of history, so to speak. So instead of trying to beat your Tetris high score, you had given in and played that with the machines instead. However, that it would end in Chica screaming in your ear out of fear, almost making you go deaf, you didn't see coming. Why are you shouting like that? You growled at the animatronic. Both hands were covering her eyes as she sobbed. It's so scary. Also, I'm not fat, she cried. Why is she fat? Monty laughed.
What are you, chicken?
As a reply to the joke, Roxy slapped the alligator.
What? What did I say?
Stop making fun of Chica just because you're jealous you aren't in the game,
barked the wolf. Admittedly, she had been just as terrified of the game as Chica, but her pride forced her to keep quiet about it.
This game would have been twice as scary if I wasn't in it.
Roxanne growled.
Go eat a golf ball, redneck.
Oh yeah? What about you, Roxy? You have been awfully quiet.
Roxy's tail swiped in agitation.
How dare you imply I'm afraid? I'm the best, after all. I cannot be scared.
She thanked her creators every day for giving her the ability to lie.
Friends, stop fighting. It's just a game.
Interjected Freddy loudly. Suddenly, all eyes were on him. Taken off guard, he took a step back.
Freddy is right, Bok,
said Chica.
You're just scared.
Finally, the chicken crossed her arms.
And so what? You're the one being all fuzzy over not being in it.
Monty stomped his foot on the ground. But the judging looks from everyone, including you, was enough to make him wave in disgust.
Fine. I'll go back to my room.
After the gator, Roxy soon followed, just to make sure he wouldn't break anything in his anger. Finally, Chica left after the power of the pizzeria cut off, and the video game Freddy was about to jump scare you. The real Freddy, on the other hand, stayed. His massive orange frame stood right behind you, his hands placed on the arcade's corners right next to yours. It was strangely comforting, despite the horror of the game. Just after you got jump-scared by video game Freddy for a second time on day 3, Glamrock Freddy spoke up.
You know I would never do this to you, right?
You blinked and looked up at him. His head was tilted. What are you talking about? He blinked.
I am not programmed to hurt anyone.
You grinned. You do realize this is all fiction, right?
I don't know. Somehow seeing this supposedly older version of myself, it fills me with this deep feeling of dread.
Skeptically, you raised an eyebrow. Really now? Didn't know you were programmed for that. His face plates shifted into a smile.
I have been programmed to feel a large range of human emotions to perfectly simulate empathy.
You both went quiet for a moment. Enough time for the game to decide and kill you.
God damn it!
You shouted in frustration.
I am detecting advanced agitation. Are you sure this game is good for your health?
You sighed. One more round, I can beat this.
I would really advise against that. Games should be fun, not frustrating. Or, at the very least, feel rewarding enough that the frustration in the end is worth it.
You don't have to lecture me. Fine, let's take a break. Reluctantly, you left the game.
Where should we be going?
He asked. Roxy Waceway. Diner. I'm in the mood for some milkshakes. The best thing about night shifts was how breaks worked. If the route to Roxy Waceway would take a certain amount of time, you would be eligible for another break upon unlocking the diner's doors. Freddy was right behind you the entire time, trying to pick up the conversation. And upon sitting down inside the diner 20 minutes later, you finally gave up.
I really never hurt anyone.
Freddy, you sighed. Why are you so caught up on this? He fidgeted.
I was built to entertain children, so in a way you could say it is my life. The thought that some version of me stuffs people inside animatronic shells. It makes my... can I say my skin crawl?
You giggled.
I know I don't have skin, but...
Freddy, it's okay. His facial plates shifted so that he could bit his lower lip.
But please, try to see it from my perspective. It's...
You raised a finger to make him go quiet. I know, Freddy. You gave him the most motherly smile you could muster, not quite able to believe that you had to talk like this with a machine. While the game version of you looks completely different, it's still you in a weird way, and seeing yourself murdering someone in third person must be terrifying. Right? He nodded, and you leaned back on your chair. But this is all fiction. Remember.
Fiction,
He repeated. There is no zombie murderer in an ancient bunny suit. There is no weird spooky ghost energy called remnant that revives people. And most importantly, Lee leaned forward and gently smiled. There is no purple-skinned man killing children. Just some guy making horror games to make fun of a few rumors back in the 80s.
No.
You cleared your throat dramatically. Repeat what I said.
There is no zombie bunny man. There is no ghost energy. There is no purple man behind the slaughter. It's all just a game, ordered by Fazbear Entertainment to make light of the rumors.
Correct. You smiled.
But then, what happened a few months ago when all my friends were shattered? And you needed to build a new copy of me.
Virus? You answered immediately.
Viruses are scary.
He muttered. A service bot brought the milkshakes. Ugh, finally, you complained. Freddy tilted his head.
What taste did you choose? The usual isn't a menu item, I believe.
You looked at him in confusion. It's 50% vanilla, 25% caramel, and 25% chocolate.
Sounds delicious.
You took a sip. Any nausea issues you might have? Freddy looked away. What? Are you getting shy on me?
I really enjoyed being so close to you.
You almost spit out some of your milkshake. Swallowing quickly, your brain froze. Ow! 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 You exclaimed.
Oh, Night Guard!
Freddy stood up and walked around the table to your side.
Are you alright?
Brain freeze, you muttered. You didn't immediately realize it, but Freddy picked you up on his arms.
I'll bring you to a security office.
It's just a brain freeze, big guy, you protested. But the robot was already transporting you. Longingly, you looked behind yourself. My milkshake, you whimpered. Okay, why are you doing this? You're acting weird, you finally said after a minute.
I like you.
He said as he continued stomping forward.
And I want to take care of you. You're hurt.
You sighed. Your brain was still too frozen to fully comprehend his words. Until... Wait, stop, you said, and he did so. You mean like friends, right? Silence. You mean like friends, right? You can feel attraction, right? I mean, it's not in the manual. He blinked. I mean, it's okay, big guy, you said as you leaned against his chest plate. I mean, I like you too. He shook.
Do you mean it?
He asked carefully. I mean, yeah, but that might just be because I feel attracted to guys being overprotective and, well, that's your entire personality, isn't it? He chuckled, but didn't comment.
Are you still in pain, Night Guard?
You deadpanned. I told you, it's a brain freeze. and never was serious to begin with. Freddy was embarrassed. Are you like this because of the game? Freddy set you gently back on the ground before saying,
Yes.
You sighed. Must be a kink in your programming.
Seeing a Freddy do such things, well, yeah, I guess.
Taking his hand in yours, you mumbled a quick explanation. I guess it's because you guys work with numbers. I do nice things, the number increases. It's like a game with a friendship system. So, seeing you act like that in a video game must make you think that my points are decreasing. But I'm a human. I don't work like that. Not to mention, that was a game. If you guys have such a hard time differentiating, why did you even want me to play it in the first place? Or are you the one only feeling like this? Silence. You worry too much. But I also find that kind of charming. Your heart pounded against your chest. And I mean, really charming. You signaled him to bow down to your level, as if you were going to whisper something in his ear. But then, you gently pecked his lower jaw. Since he was a robot, he didn't really have lips. So you did the best you could in trying to show your affection.
What are you doing, Night Guard?
He asked. I'm kissing you, you dork. You giggled.
This isn't very child-friendly.
You pulled your head away. Okay. Say, Freddy, how many children are in the building?
Checking cameras.
You rolled your eyes as his own turned blue.
Scanning.
Seconds later, the animatronic said,
0 children are currently inside the building.
You grinned smugly. Freddy, stop acting shy. He took a step back, but didn't let go of your hand. Such a dead giveaway, you thought. You have been programmed to react positive to affection.
Please stop playing with my emotions.
You sighed and proceeded to wrap your arms around his hips. His body was hard, made out of silicone-covered plastic, to give the illusion of skin, and to be slightly more soft to the touch. I'm not playing with your emotions, big guy. I mean it. I am very attracted to your personality. It's warm and soft. Makes me forget it's actually just a bunch of ones and zeros on a hard drive. Gently he placed a hand on your head. Company policy dictates that I will get fired should you or any other animatronic complain about certain advances. In other words, if you feel like I'm overstepping my boundaries. Once again, Freddy picked you up. Even though you were a fully grown woman, he still was so much taller than you.
I in no way feel uncomfortable. If anything, I'm glad that you have feelings for me, even after that game.
You sighed hopelessly. Maybe Five Nights at Freddy's was really that confusing to him. Next time you'd try playing, you would play it without him. Freddy, you said. You really didn't want to say it. Mostly because you still saw him as a machine, and it being a potential ground for you to being fired. But I love you. His ears twitched happily in response.